So React is our allergy formula, and you call it your allergy formula as well. Can you explain a little bit about it and what you use it for?
Well, we use it for allergies. Isn't that a surprise?
Surprise, huh?
But it's very interesting. There's a book one of my graduate students wrote about the cross-reactivity, allergy and cross-reactivity. That's the name of it. Author is Sue Killian. And she spent several years doing some really, really interesting computer work to show significant cross-reactivity between what would otherwise be thought of as unrelated substances. The consequence of that is that we found a few molecules that we call mother molecules that cover an awful lot of bases with respect to hypersensitivity. When we put those into the formulation that you have here, what we find is that, well, trying to be somewhat modern about this, probably 85 to 90% of people will respond positively, as will animals, to this formulation. Now, they might have an allergy to something that these several molecules don't cover, and then we're out of luck. But it's surprising how many will respond positively to this. And again, the whole idea and with this medication is simply to get the immune response back into balance. That's all it is. And what happens with an allergic reaction is there are some very sensitive cells that get out of control, and the body has no way of getting them back under control without a little help. That's where the signals are important. They give the right vibration, the right frequency, kick things back into gears, making the assumption all those cells are there. It's just a matter of getting them to do what they should do. And that's what happens.
So in a heightened histamine type of a response, then this type of formula would downregulate.
It downregulates by upregulating. Now, that sounds a little bit contradictory, but you'll have to upregulate some control cells to push down the ones that are out of control. So what happens is, in a kind of an old-fashioned way, the cells that are out of control are called suppressor T cells. Suppressor cells do just what they say. They keep the immune response out under control, okay? But they are extremely sensitive to all sorts of influences, environmental influences, stress, dietary, things like that. Some people would say they're among the most sensitive cells in the body. If they become out of control themselves, then there's no control downstream. So we have to upregulate the suppressors so they downregulate the expressor cells that are causing the symptoms of allergy. That's it.
Makes perfect sense.